So it's the next part of this journey, and this time we're in Istanbul, which is described as an ambery, woody, spicy East meets West fragrance. So let's get into it. Actually, do you know what? I think the scenery is a bit boring for this one. So see you shortly, folks. Okay everyone, so next in the line from Gallivant we have Istanbul. Before I get into the fragrance, I'll go through a few little interesting facts about the city. Okay, so Istanbul, like many of us probably already know, used to be called Constantinople during the Roman times, and that was named after the Emperor Constantine. Now also, quite weirdly similar to Rome, it's another city that was founded on 7 hills. It's one of the biggest cities in the entire world, with a population of over 17 million. It was the capital of the Byzantine Roman Empire, as well as the Ottoman Empire. Now, again, most famously, it's the only city in the world that straddles 2 beautiful, wonderful continents of Europe and Asia. And actually, it's one of them great multicultural, wonderful cities that is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam, as well as obviously other smaller cultures and religions. So I think it's a pretty wonderful place that I absolutely want to visit one day. So that's your little facts about Istanbul. Now then, the fragrance. As you can see, I've pretty much hammered through this quite a lot actually. It's been quite a pleasure to wear this one. So what is the fragrance like? So it opens up with a beautiful, slightly kind of citric freshness, but very woody. And as it settles down, there's like a sweet licorice feel that I get from it, and this really kind of bright herbaceous licorice. And I imagine that's a mixture of the herbs and the opoponax giving it this kind of lovely feel. The fresh cardamom kind of stays through quite a bit, adding a bit of spice and that lovely freshness. The vanilla and the tonka start to develop through a bit later on, and it gets a lot kind of richer with the spices and the warmth. There's a kind of familiar, kind of mentally herby smell to me. I don't think it's that strong, and I think it's like a personal kind of scent memory of like one of them old-fashioned chemist pharmacists that we used to have when we were kids, that had all them interesting bottles with the weird shapes, look like an apothecary's, and that's quite a comforting kind of feeling. It's probably mainly the lavender, isn't it? Now that does smooth out as the vanilla starts to get its way in, and make it much richer, and the ambers and the bases give it this really warm, resinous feeling. And it for me, as it keeps developing and developing, it does move closer to the skin. But again, that's not something that's ever bothered me. I like a closer to the skin kind of fragrance. I think it leaves a bit of a sillage, but again, it's one of these more bring people in things, and it does last an extremely long time. So yeah, for me, this is possibly my favourite so far with Amsterdam, and it's one of them. It feels like it has florals in, but there's not really any listed. A bit of geranium, but you get that floral feel which adds to the kind of sweetness and the richness to it, and it very does much smell like I imagine Amsterdam to smell. Now this is probably one with Amsterdam that I'll come back later on to wear quite a bit again, because I think this is up there with one of the ones that I definitely want. But anyway, yes, quite a brief one, because I don't think a lot needs to be said about it. It's a beautiful, warm, resinous, spicy, woody, quite exotic smelling, gorgeous fragrance. So yes, I've kept it brief. Over to you now, Lizzie.
Hi guys, welcome back, and welcome back to our 4th episode in our travels through the Gallivant Discovery box even. So today of course we're discussing Istanbul. But thank you so much to John, of course, for taking the reins and walking us through the introduction and taking us on your little woodland stroll there. And of course for giving us some lovely facts on Istanbul. And yeah, a fantastic review from our John there. Well, in terms of setting the scene, I haven't been quite as adventurous as John here, but I have sort of brought the outdoors into you. I've just cut this gorgeous rose from my garden. It's raining all day, so this is a wet rose. It's a really pretty rose, and you can see all the raindrops on there. So yeah, Istanbul is our 4th urban city to explore. Let's get into this. So as John has already pointed out, it is an ambery, woody, spicy east meets west fragrance. It has notes of bergamot, cardamom, red thyme. It has heart notes of lavender, absolute, Egyptian geranium, patchouli and sweet myrrh, and it has base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, tonka bean, amber and musks. So how do I compare my review to John's? My opinion is so different to his. I get rose and I get... No, I'm joking. Can't go through a whole nother argument about oranges and lemons. Lemons and oranges. Oranges and lemons. It's lemons. When it comes to Istanbul, I have to agree wholeheartedly with everything that John has said. So there's no juicy conflict or disagreements at all. Istanbul is a rather short and endearing little tale of amber. It's the main feature that's there from the beginning all the way to the end. Definitely the star of the show here, but it just goes through one very smooth, significant, short transition and stays that way. I've actually got this sprayed on both my wrists. This is about 5 hours in. This one is about half an hour in, but I'm going to spray it again because I need that opening, because it does change quite significantly. It's so much brighter in the opening. You get that bergamot, which is definitely present, that bright burst of a citrus. It's not too heavy, it's not too sharp, but it does present the amber significantly different to how it ends up. Bright and fresh and aromatic, so that freshness is that bergamot that's kind of, you know, bursting through, and the lavender is very much present in the opening. I think John said something about licorice, which I do understand. When it's that herbal quality, it's got a sort of maybe a hint of that sort of licorice character. Slightly woody as well. I've sprayed it again because you lose the opening so fast. Very sort of fleeting opening of a woody, ambery, slightly aromatic, slightly fresh amber. The thing with this amber is that once the opening notes disappear, it starts to get sweeter. It seems to grow and get warmer, and then you start to get those other notes coming through. Tonka bean, the vanilla, the sandalwood, the musks, and that cardamom. It wraps around the amber and creates this beautifully smooth, sweet, very addictive amber fragrance. Even starts to go slightly powdery on me. I know there's no almond listed here. I guess tonka bean will go into that almond territory, but it goes quite powdery and almondy. Definitely a fluffy side to this. Could be the musks as well. I think the crowning glory for this fragrance for me is the cardamom. I really get a lot of cardamom. Cardamom is such a smooth, warming spice. So I find it interesting that this amber in the opening was a much colder, sharper spice from the lavender, but it's obviously now being pulled into a warmer direction, more enveloping and cozy from that cardamom. I think I've even said if I like it or not. Like John, this is definitely my favourite from the line so far. I think this is a really uncomplicated, cozy, cuddly, easy amber fragrance. I don't dislike amber at all, but I don't tend to wear heavy amber fragrances. I enjoy it on other people. Ones like Grand Soir from Maison Francisco John. I also love Kisses Rain from Renier. They have the same character profile in that rich, warm, sweet amber. And this Istanbul really reminds me of both of those. It's not as rich, it's not as heavy, but Istanbul has the same type of sweet, smooth, quality amber. And unlike the other two, I would wear Istanbul. I find it so easy to enjoy. It's very addictive. Such a soft, cozy scent with that sort of powdery tonka bean and that lovely cardamom. Buttery, gentle amber, and just one I can't stop sniffing. In terms of the performance, I find that they're all All from Gallivant so far I've had that same easy to wear, mild kind of quality, a gentle wear with a sort of soft development, about 4 or 5 hours of wear time. This is a great one for those who are just starting to appreciate amber scents, not too bombastic or, you know, too overpowering, just a nice introduction to a lovely amber fragrance, and this would definitely be one I would recommend. So there you go, that's Istanbul. So now I think it's my job to pick our next destination. So I've removed the foil we've already done, of course, and I'm going to close my eyes. Right, they're closed. I promise they're closed. You can hear my hand over my nose, so there's evidence for you. Hang on, where are we? Let's go, where are we? What have we got? I'm still not even looking here. London! Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner. So John will be taking a trip down the streets of London for episode 5. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks again to the amazing John, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care. Over and out.